Alright, fiends, tonight we're getting spooky with our northern brothers, the Forbidden Dimension, tonight on the Midnight Chamber. Alright, the Forbidden Dimension. What can be said about this band? For one, there might be a fair bit of people out there that don't know about this band. They're not exactly your day one, run across them, on Amazon kind of band. The band was formed in 1988 by Jackson Fives, who's also not only a hell of a musician, but a fairly prolific artist. But honestly, they're kind of like one of Canada's best kept secrets. I mean, fucking A, man. They're about as hidden as most vampires are. So, formed in 88, Jackson put out 3 demos on cassette only between 88 and by the time he and Lars Bonfire finally got Sin Gallery put out in 1993, which is the record we're talking about tonight, Sin Gallery. So, let's cut right here. We'll take a look at the CD and be right back at you. Alright, monster kids, here we go. The Forbidden Dimension, Sin Gallery. Just absolutely fantastic artwork. I love Jackson's very, bizarro, comic-laden, cel-shaded, spooktacular, nutty artwork. I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. It's fantastic. There's the interior. It's very comic booky. Absolutely adore it. There's a picture of Jackson rocking an Iceman. The artwork actually reminds me a lot of the Beetlejuice cartoon from the early 90s, which is also fantastic. And he's got the all-seeing eye on the actual CD. Pretty badass. There's your track listing. 20 songs. Not bad. Of course, he had 3 demos to pull from. And that's it. Sin Gallery. Alright, we're back. So, Sin Gallery comes out in 93. By they, I mean Jackson cut a deal with Cargo Records, either North America, I think it was Cargo Records North America, or maybe it was just Canada. I don't quite remember. Either way, they gave him a 3-record deal. For being a label, especially back in the 90s, they gave him all kinds of freedom. I mean, all kinds of freedom. They didn't give him a touring type of mandatory schedule. A lot of labels will make a band play X amount of shows, tour X amount of time. They didn't make him do any of that. They didn't even really give him a booking agent, so that's that. Sin Gallery was recorded without a live drummer, which both hurts and gives this record charm. They used an Alesis HR-16 drum machine on the record. A live drummer was finally brought into the fold for live shows and later on. And really, this is not my favorite of their records, but by the time that Somebody Down There Likes Me, their second album came out, and there were a slew of 7 inches in between between those records, they had really found footing. Jackson, his songwriting has never wavered. The guy's a phenomenal songwriter. So much of the early aughts horror scene was influenced by by the Forbidden Dimension is ridiculous. I mean, they're such a nerdy, spooky band with really good garage rock, just everything, just great garage rock backbone, and I'm talking like 60s garage rock. If anyone's familiar with Crypt Records, like the Back from the Grave compilations of all these obscure 60s, like 1/7-inch fucking really gritty garage bands. Excellent shit. Really obscure. And I know our scene is obscure anyway. I mean, it's like trying to dig up a date on a Saturday night. I mean, there's only so many, graves you can uncover. But when you find this stuff, it is fantastic. So, back to the record itself. Got notes here. Don't mind me. I'm just making sure I don't miss anything. With the Cargo deal, they got 3 records, and surprisingly, with the records, Cargo went out of business. I'm gonna say in the late 90s, because Sim Gallery had a 3,000 record pressing, and then Somebody Down There Likes Me had a 2,000 record pressing, and then Widow's Walk, the 3rd record by the Forbidden Dimension, had a 1,000 pressing. And there must be a surge in people wanting these records, which, as they should be wanting them. But I've noticed they've kind of spiked in price lately. I mean, I didn't pay a lot for my copies, but I got them years and years and years ago. I think part of the obscurity, though, is really Jackson 5 was telling me when I was asking him about this record that they didn't supply the band with a booking agent, and he admitted that if the label would have given him a booking agent, they probably would have toured more, probably gotten into the States a lot more than they do now. And there was a lag in Forbidden Dimension stuff due to the 90s band folding like a cheap suit and, life happening. But that being said, Jackson's always put artwork out. He's a phenomenal graphic artist. I mean, you can look at all of the artwork for all the Forbidden Dimension material, a lot of the Reanimator Records stuff. There's a lot of this in the especially the horror rock scene that just look up to Jackson 5s as not an idol is a bad word to use, but we all look up to him like that really awesome uncle that everybody just wants to hang out with and hear the cool stories about all the stuff he did. So, yeah. That's really the ins and outs of this particular record. I mean, it was recorded with 2 guys and a drum machine. A lot of the songs came off the demos previous to the record. It got them on the path to the later albums, which are amazing. And really, by the time the Creepsville 99 7-inch came out, which I believe is their second 45, they had a live drummer. So it wasn't long after this album that they got a live drummer, which did them a world of good for sure. But I mean, they captured everything from the demos that was great and added so much more. Jackson's amazing riffages there. I mean, the guy can just write really catchy hooks for sure. It's fuzzy in that super garagey way. Really neat, like old 60s and early 70s style keyboards on things, but in a spooky manner. Super good. It's lo-fi enough to, hit the sensibilities of anyone who was into tape trading and stuff like that back in the day. but it's, you know, you're not gonna get any of your standard issue new school horror rock. Like, there's not shit tons of woeing on this. It's science fiction and horror stories put to music with some really catchy hooks. Melodic as hell. It's a little hillbilly. There's little hints of, I'm not gonna quite say bluegrass, but maybe some just touches of country. A lot of garage rock, as I keep saying. It's really good. Like I say, not my favorite of their records. By the time Somebody Down There Likes Me came out, man, that record is just amazing from head to toe. This one, though, has got some classics. It does. Haunted is a classic, fantastic song. Deadly Pickup. White Line Reaper. Graveyard Line. Two Hearts in Wax. Great love song. And yeah, if you can get this, get it. It's getting a little more pricey to pick up. So Bandcamp, as I always say about like some of these bands, Bandcamp, I will link in the description to that. Best way to probably get their material easily. But if you're looking, like me, for the physical copies, you could probably find them on Discogs for a reasonable price. Amazon, I've seen them spike. I mean, granted, everything's spiking on Amazon recently, especially in some of this obscure media. I think I saw this starting to go for $30 or $40, which is fairly ridiculous. Probably still reasonable on Discogs. I try never to touch eBay unless I absolutely have to, so just stay away from that. But yeah, Sin Gallery, Forbidden Dimension, killer fucking record. Definitely, I'll be covering the later records. Jackson gets better and better as he puts more records out, which is saying something because Forbidden Dimension is, I think, 7 records deep and just a whole pile of 45s. Though they haven't put a 45 out since Reanimator Records was open, and that they closed the doors probably 18 years ago. So yeah, Forbidden Dimension, Sin Gallery. You should check it out. It's pretty fucking killer. And I will see you next time on the Midnight Chamber.